In this chapter, we're going to look at an alternative way of enforcing rules and constraints on your XML data, and it's called XML schema. XML schema is an alternative to using DTDs. XML schema allows you to constrain the document content just like DTDs do, so in that way they're similar. But schema is actually much more powerful and sophisticated than DTDs are. They allow a much finer level of control than DTDs provide you with. For example, recall from the previous chapter, we talked a little bit about how it's possible to, for example, generally control how many elements can appear inside of another element by using special characters to say that it can appear 0 or 1 time or many times. But there was really no way, for example, to say that an element can only appear 4 times in another element, or constrain the value of an attribute to, say, a specific pattern. Now, in schema, you can do things like that. In schema, you can also do things like derive your own types and enforce those rules on your XML document. For example, if I wanted to define a type that limited the value of an element to, say, between 0 and 100 because it represents a price, I can do that in schema, and that's not something you can do in DTDs. They also provide a much better level of control than DTDs do. And unlike with DTDs, where you have the choice of defining the DTD inside your XML data or storing it as an external file, schema and XML files are always stored separately. Schema files are written using the same XML syntax that you use to write your XML data, whereas DTDs use their own custom syntax. It's kind of like XML, but DTDs are not really XML formatting. Now, of course, all this power comes with a price. Schema, as a result, is a little harder and usually more verbose to write than a DTD, but it provides a much finer level of control. And the result is XML files that are far less likely to violate rules or slip through the cracks than would be the case when using a DTD. In this chapter, we're going to go through the same process that we did with the DTD chapter, and we'll explore how we can declare element and attribute rules, and then we'll take a look at how we can define a schema for the business card example that we've been using throughout the title.